Hey everyone, and welcome to the week overview for what the collective is in store for January 19th through the 25th of 2025. So as with these, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. So as with these as well, considering my mid-month video, I'd like to make it a point that when I say collective read, I mean the collective as a whole, not as a specific demographic, unless that specific demographic is mentioned, and only for that part that the specific demographic is mentioned. Let's get started. So, we have the Hierophant. So there's going to be some traditionalist values put in place, like traditional wives, traditional gender roles, traditional religious values, archaic views, all outdated mandates that no longer serve our time. Going back to the Stone Ages comes to mind. It does look like there's a lot of determination and charisma and focus. However, that is on the grounds of narcissism. So they are being narcissistic in why they are doing what they're doing and how they're acting the way they're acting. And this will be especially true, and you'll see it within the next 5 months or by May 30th, I believe, around like 11:55 p.m.-ish local time. Time is fluid in this point. Learning to view things beyond a stained glass window perspective and seeing beyond beauty and aesthetics and looking beyond what you see and understanding the nuances and the between the lines of things will help you, especially when it comes to finding your own traditions and finding your own values and finding your own core beliefs and your own justice systems. Because childish pleasures and pleasurable antics only go so far. Love, relationships, jealousy, it all has its purpose. However, the cardinal rules still apply to even the top clergymen, so to speak. Nobility and class doesn't exterminate you from consequences of your actions, no matter how much you sit on the truth. Sitting on the truth doesn't negate the truth, it only delays the inevitable. Suffocation and silencing, and oppression and marginalization, especially for life past 3s, 6s, and 9s, and those that exhibit a lot of short-term, long-term goals that are a creative, altruistic stance that allow for harmony and luxury and wealth and love of everybody and all mankind, and of course with certain moral standards of your own, and being able to associate or not with certain people that hold those beliefs, because there's a difference between respectable disagreements and outright bigotry. Believing in a religion and using your religion as a reason has a stance. However, using it as a cop-out to control other people or force the masses to your form of thinking or your control of thinking is where the issue lies, is where the problem lies. So be your own acolyte, find your own sense of empowerment, your own source of income, your own source of reservations. Seek your own sanctuary, because this isn't an all is lost moment. It's not like a victim mentality moment. It's not a victim circumstance thing. It's more along the lines of, this is the consequence of the choices that the collective energy has made. And now the individual gets to see their viewpoints and what their collective and how it affects them as an individual. The Chariot. So, basically what this is telling me is there are several ways this can go. And you may be torn between two or more ways. Duality perspective and polar opposites can cause a lot of issues. Twin flame dynamics especially, or dynamics of those competing against each other when there's really nothing to be competing about. Because human rights is not a competition. That is a universal truth there. Human life matters. It does look like there's a lot of metaphysical fights going on as well, and dichotomies going on. Is fighting the dogmas as above, so below in spirit as well as in physical. It does look like there's a lot of horse-headed mentality, taking off the horse blinders, gods and goddesses and such that work with horses and anthropomorphic beings that represent horses, and those that carry candles and hold a high power of authority and a major title in their dichotomy or their sphere of influence, especially like war and huntsmen and navigation and waywards and travelers and messenger values and advice to those in power of authority, whether it be a presidency or a doctor or a lawyer or a therapist or a teacher or a mother or yourself. It does look like there's a lot of needing to figure out when to loosen the reins and when to tighten the reins, and understanding the nuances of what it means to do both, because there are consequences to both actions. And remember, guys, this is a lot of just clout and image and saving face, because it looks like things are being said just to be said. There's really no action behind it. It's all bark and no bite. So if you did not get a direct answer, then that indirect answer or lack thereof is telling in its own way and telling in its own right. Silence is deafening sticks out. So if you've ever heard that before within the last 5 weeks or so, 5 weeks to 5 months, especially since July of last year and into July 17th of this year as well, especially around Bastille Day, which is around July 14th. The song Pompeii sticks out by Bastille, Fireflies by Owl City, and This Little Light of Mine with a Christian song sticks out. Lights by Journey as well sticks out for a lesson to learn for those that learn clairaudiently or telepathically or through music. Know that they never really meant to hurt anybody with what they said. They don't know what they're doing, really much. It's like one of those, Lord forgive them, they know not what they do kind of things. Because they think they know what they're doing, but they don't know the consequences of what they're doing until it's too late. And until there's like mass chaos or war or destruction. And it happens to them and they don't really care. And that's a childish mentality, due to like lust or selfishness or greed, or due to feeling challenged when there really is no challenge because nobody's arguing. It's just a differing viewpoint. That's where cognitive dissonance comes in. This is going to be a very strong week. I'm feeling especially for those that have reds, whites, yellows, oranges, blacks, and blues in their flags, as well as any flags that emanate horses, eagles, lions, or any major religious factions as well. Any major religious traditions and religious views will be prominently and heavily impacting the outside influences and the outside energies. So just be aware of how that affects you personally, like we've been saying. Because your intuition has been telling you this all along. Your intuition has been telling you what you've been knowing since the dawn of time. Nyx sticks out. Selene, Nyx, Lilith, Hecate, Morrigan, Brigid, Athena. We can get some males in here. Sebek, Lucifer, Jesus, archangels, Jophiel, Raphael, and Michael. It looks like there's a lot of basing people off of their clothing and gender roles and learning to define yourself and let some mystery and allure still be allowed. Because there's a lot of metamorphosis and growth and change and the ability to slow down and understand that we can't fly in rain, but that doesn't mean we can't enjoy the rain. Because all in all, within the next 4 weeks or by the 4th day, by sunset, we are in control of our own happiness. By the 4th day, or by within 4 weeks or so, or by 4 p.m. of some, by the, let me see, by the 4th or 5th day of the moon cycle, there will be like a non-romantic business arrangement or metaphysical arrangement or a dream or a platonic friend that helps you out of a bind. Not necessarily in a romantic sense, but not excluding it. And this could also mean like finding a new love life, finding a new view on love itself, learning the difference between love ideologies and love itself, reality versus fiction when it comes to children and finances, and what it means to be autonomous as well. So know that the answers that you seek this week for the 19th to the 25th is going to lie deeply within yourself. And if you help the butterfly out of its cocoon, then it loses its ability to fly at times. It can still learn, but it's a lot better for it if it can break free from the inside on its own. That's what I get for the 19th to the 25th of January 2025. For the collective, as always with these, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Thanks for joining.